Hello Pokemon fans, this is ProPokeNoob back today to bring you another battle, but I just lied to you. This is not one battle today, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be two battles. It's a double header, and I'm feeling so nice. It's not just a double header, it's a double header OU session. What? You play OU? No, I don't. These battles are really old. So, this first battle is going to be from May of this year. The other battle is going to be November of last year. Apparently in my saved logs, I have a whole bunch of battles from last year, so I'm going to try and pump those out right before this whole meta thing is done. This whole predominant meta is complete. But, anyways, on to the first match. This is my Mono Gen team that I was just trying out against my friend Danny Uting, also known as Dan, obviously. But, this was a team that I've been trying to get Mono Gen battles with. I haven't actually tried to search for any, but I would like to have some. If anyone's looking for just a Mono Gen or something different to do, hit me up. And, I mean, I just want to try this team out more often. I usually just play it in OU and have fun with it because, you know, it's an OU team. I can do it. Not a big deal. But I'm not going to explain it right in the beginning, I'm just going to explain it as we go along. Looking at my opponent's team, all I have to do is figure out what Garchomp and Hydreigon are running, and then I can just work from there. If Garchomp is Scarfed, then it outspeeds my whole team, and I have to deal with it effectively. Breloom's going to be important with the priority, Metacham's going to be important, I think, with the priority Bullet Punch, even though it's Choice Scarf. I think I have Bullet Punch on it. I can't remember. Probably not, actually. And then if Hydreigon is Scarf, I can deal with that kind of because actually, no, I can't because that also outspeeds my team, but I can easily punch it in the face with Breloom and not a big deal. So, in the ways it leads, I figured I can burn everything on his team and it will matter except for Starmie, and Starmie can't really do much back to it. So I'm going to set up my specially defensive Joker, my Sableye. He actually decides to lead off with his Hydreigon. So I'm just going to go for a substitute, scout to see what move he goes for. He goes for U-turn, so he's most likely Choice Scarfed. If he could be Specs, but usually you want to abuse the speed with the U-turn. Probably still run U-turn, but I'm just going to assume that he's Scarfed at this point. I'm going to go for the Will-O-Wisp. I guess he didn't expect this. I mean, you don't really see Sableye a lot in OU, so maybe he doesn't know what this thing does. But I mean, his Garchomp is burned, so I really don't have a lot of worries anymore. There's not much to be concerned about. Sorry, I'm moving my mic a little bit. I sent in Jackie Cham. No, I can't do anything. Gastron has the potential of burning me, and I can't take it out, so I'm just going to immediately switch out. I'm going to go into Chromaniac, the Registeel, which is physically defensive, and it still takes Jack All from it. But now he's going to go into Jirachi. I go for Thunder Wave, knowing that he's going to switch out, and it's going to hit everything except Garchomp. But even if he had sent Garchomp in, one, it's burned, it can't do anything to me, and two, it's ground anyway, so it's not like I'm going to lose much here. We're just going to exchange rocks, and now I'm going to switch out, going to Mud, which is my Choice Banded Swampert. Powerful stuff. And he actually goes for Thunder Wave. Now, I was sending this guy in to scout to see what form of paralysis he might go for, whether it was the which is Thunder Wave, or the Body Slam, and luckily he has Thunder Wave, so I have something to deal with that when I know it's coming in and trying to para-hacks everything. So, he sends in Gastron. I go for Ice Punch. I honestly thought he'd go into Hydreigon to take, or Hydreigon, whatever. Hydreigon? Whatever. Okay, so this goes, I thought he would go into that to use a Levitate to avoid my ground move, but regardless. He goes for Earth Power, which hurts, and I am physically defensive, so that's why it does a little bit more than what you're used to seeing. But now I'm going to set out Spruce Lee and Jackie Cham, making an appearance on the Pokemon stage, just, you know, rocking it together. Two fighting types that just threaten the heck out of you. But anyways, he's going to go into Garchomp, I guess, as a form of Death Fodder, but I actually go for the Spore, because I don't want to be willy-nilly throwing out damage here that's going to get me a whole bunch of Life Orb Recall. It goes for the Outrage, and I was panicking, like, wait, he's burned. I go for Bullet Seed. I only hit twice. I wasn't sure if Mach Punch would be enough to take it out. I don't know my damage calcs perfectly. Even back then, even now, I don't know. But now what I can do is go into Chromaniac, take the Outrage. I can kill himself. He can kill himself off with his burn, and everything will be okay. So that's the plan. Garchomp's out of the way. Not that it was a big threat once it got burned, but now he sends in the Hydreigon. Hydreigon, whatever floats your boat, or whatever floats your Hydreigon. Levitate! Funny jokes! Not really. He's going to go for the U-turn. Now, at this point, I'm assuming he's choiced. He actually switches out and goes into his Jirachi. Now, he could have just gone for the U-turn, because no matter what I went into, he would have gotten the switch priority anyways, and he could have checked to see if I was going to switch, and switch in a better thing, you know, to deal with my Pokemon. But I honestly, it's not a big deal. It actually kind of is. He lost a little bit of momentum there. But anyways, he's going to switch out Jirachi after it takes a seismic toss to the face. He goes for the wish, and I figured he's going to switch it. And I catch the Hydreigon. So, ladies and gentlemen, when you know that you can be statused, it's not worth getting a little bit of HP back on when I've just completely made your Pokemon useless, no matter what amount of HP it has. But now I'm going to go for the Protect, because I figured he might just try and switch something in, or he just might go for an attack. I don't really want to just spam stuff. I don't know. At this point, I'm in a really comfortable position. The two threats that I was worried about, his Hydreigon and his Garchomp, have been effectively handled. But now he goes for the wish with his Jirachi, and I figured, okay, well, maybe I can get something set up here. So I'm just gonna go into Swampert because it can damage everything, and he actually just stays in. So he healed up his Jirachi, not a big deal. But now I thought again, maybe he's going to switch into something to take the ground move. So I'm going to go for the Waterfall. And he switches in Gastrodon. So I'm like, oh my god, this is just dumb. What did I think he was going to... Oh, it's just to hit everything neutral. Well, relatively neutral. But now, because he has a special attack raise, that Earth Power is going to do a lot. In fact, it's going to be a 2-hit KO. And I think I actually forgot about that because I could have just switched into... Actually, nothing. What would I have switched into? Because he could have gone for Scald too, right? But he goes for Toxic, predicting my switch. Now, I'm going to stay in because I figured he might try to predict my switch. He goes for the Scald, which is nice. He doesn't go for Earth Power, which is, you know, thank God, because I need this thing a little bit. So I'm just going to go for another Protect, as he actually goes for another Scald. Now, it's just at this point, he's just trying to read what I'm going to do, but I'm just trying to keep it as simple as possible. Heal up a little bit, and then just, you know, kind of fodder this thing off, because his Hydreigon thing, I really got to learn which way it is. It might be Hydreigon, I think it's Hydreigon. I don't know. Spruce Lee comes in. Who cares? Spruce Lee is in the house. Kills everything. Hydreigon comes in. Hydreigon. I'm gonna go... Oh my god, I'm just saying Hydreigon. I'm gonna go for the Spore because, again, I don't want to willy-nilly waste my Life Orb. So I'm just gonna go for a low sweep, knowing I will outspeed this, destroy him by kicking him through the stomach. That's, by the way, through 3 stomachs, because the size of the arms for the hands are considered stomachs. So 3 stomachs in a row. Spruce Lee is too good. I'm going to go for the Mach Punch, hit Salamence before I am ending up killing him myself. And I'm going to go into Jackie Chan to redeem Spruce Lee and saying, you know what, you couldn't do a heck of a lot. Let me kick a Starmie in the face for you. Make it a 2-hit KO. It's defensive. Who cares? I got a giant foot to shove in his face. Wherever his face is, his jewel is smashed, his stars aren't spinning no more. He ain't in the sky, he's a falling star, broken meteor, whatever you want to call it. Crit the Gastrodon! Jackie Chan, too strong. That's all I can say, ladies and gentlemen. But Salamence comes in, outspeeds me, and takes me out with an Outrage. So, it's kind of like, oh, that's not good. But now he's got the Moxie. And at this point, I've lost all my answers. So I have to rely on getting the burn. And I go for the Will-O-Wisp, and I hit it. Whew! That was close. Luckily, he doesn't have a Lumberry. Again, this is all about just worrying about Lumberries, so... But at this point, he is at +2, but he has his attack halved, so he's basically at normal. So I can send in my Swampert, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to make an immediate switch out into my Salamence to fodder it off, and you might think, what the heck are you doing? Well, to be honest, Choice Banded Swampert can deal with Jirachi more than a Choice Spec Salamence. I have Choice Spec Salamence in honor of 3rd Gen. Not that they had specs back then, but Special Salamence was a thing in 3rd Gen. But I'm like, you know what? I don't want to rely on Fire Miss. It's not really Fire Miss. It hits a lot of the time. I don't want to rely on Fire Blast. I can just go into this guy, outspeed, go for an Earthquake, finish it off. And that will be the first match, ladies and gentlemen, against the Danny Yu Ting. That was an excellent match. Moving on to the second match. It is against Dr. Diego before he sported his second eye. This was actually when he played the game. And, well, this was back in November of last year, so, I mean, he was still pretty Pokemon active, sleeping around with a whole bunch of teams. But this was just an OU team I was testing. You notice that I have a little bit of a space here. This is Keldeo Resolution. Unfortunately, he forgot that because of his name that his resolution is a little low, so you can't really see him. He's just, you know... He's a little shy, and he just turned his resolution down a little bit, and as a result, he turned invisible. So, just keep in mind I have a Keldeo there. I can't tell you what's on this team. It's been... I'm assuming that I was doing the Latias Heatran thing here, where this is physically defensive, and this... Because this has Calm Mind. I know that. So it's physically defensive. This is specially defensive. This is probably Scarfed. This is probably banned... No, that's probably not banded. I don't know. This is Expert Belt, I know that much. I like to run Scarf Gengar, but in this one, because I probably have Scarf Garchomp, I'm not running Scarf Gengar. And then my Keldeo R is actually something of a little bit of a surprise that I used to run back then. I can't remember. I probably used this team once or twice and uploaded it, and you probably would remember what the Keldeo did, because I think I played against Dr. Diego and got him the exact same way. But regardless, looking at his team, this is actually using my previous opponent's team, and he just kind of fixed it up a little bit and added things here or there. Even though I think what happened was he built it, and then Diego modified the sets so that he could make it work a little bit better. But it's a powerful team. Infernape is obviously a giant threat to my whole team. I don't really have much to take it except Latias, so I gotta be careful with that, especially if it's Scarfed or Bandit, or if it's anything that's got a giant power spike in it, like Bandit or Life Orb. This could cause problems. But other than that, nothing else really. I mean, it's just one giant threatening team. Even back when Rotom Wash was a good thing, right? So I just have to scout. So I believe I lead off. Oh, I do lead off with this is my lead Mamoswine. It's called Hole in Your Team because, anti-meta, just leave a hole in the team. I'm going to switch out, can't risk it, going to go into Dune because he has the rough skin. Even if he wanted to go for U-turn, it's just nice damage, and I figured he probably would. No point in just burning out straight at turn 1. But he's going to go to Rotom Wash, and it's like, okay, well, I'm just going to go for a Dragon Claw. Now, he went to High Dragon, I guess, just to coax out the Dragon move, because now I'm going to keep going for it. Because this was, back when I didn't learn, hey, I could probably double switch once in a while. But I'm going to hit the Skarmory, and I'm like, okay, so he's just going to set up spikes, doesn't matter, I'm going to go to Moltax, the Heatran, but he actually makes like a Quadra switch into Infernape, so I guess he saw this coming. I'm going to take the close combat, and respond inappropriately with the Roar. I don't know why. Because I thought he'd go for U-turn, predicting me to just switch out and not want to take a fighting move. I don't know, switch into thing, but I take a lot of damage, and he's going to go into his Rotom Wash. I'm just going to go for the Lava Plume, and that's not going to do a lot. Don't get the burn either. So, actually dragging the Skarmory. That's why he switches into this thing. I'm going to go to Latias, which is, can take the hit. But he actually goes for Rest, which means he is the Resto Chesto. Now, this is good to know, because if I ever get a status on him, and he puts himself to sleep, it's good setup fodder. And this thing has Calm Mind. So I'm just going to go for the Dragon Pulse, do absolutely nothing to Dino. Now, I knew he had Protect, I knew he had Pursuit. I figured he did, so I'm just going to go for a Calm Mind. And I look at the Pursuit, I don't know how much it does, because again, I don't know damage calcs very well. It would have put me just under half, but I know him. He's going to think that I'm going to stay in and just try and get as much damage off, and he's going to go for the Crunch. So what I do is switch into my Invisible Keldeo, he goes for the Crunch, gives me the Justified boost, and it's like, what are you going to do with it? Well, I can't really do much with it. So, it's just the fact that I can, preserve it. But now I'm just going to go for the Secret Sword. Does a lot to this Vaporeon, actually. I'm pretty sure it's a physically defensive one. Or specially... No, it must be specially defensive, because that took it a little bit. This is what Vaporeon was used to. Wow. But anyways, I'm going to go to the... which is my Expert Belt... what's it called? Expert Belt Gengar. Yeah, this thing's going to be broken in Gen 6, by the way. He's going to go to Big Washer just to take any hit I go for. I go for the Focus Blast. I thought he would switch in his Tyranitar. And then I guess I didn't see this coming, but he switches out into his Tyranitar now. And I was never really that careful with Pursuit, to be honest. But I pretty much figure I'm dead, so I'm going to go for the Focus Blast, do a lot of damage to him because I'm Expert Belt, and his Pursuit doesn't kill. It's odd. I guess he's just especially defensive, can't kill a normal Gengar? I don't know, but I luckily hit 2 Focus Blasts, take out the Tyranitar, and that's good for me. That's 1 down. But fortunately, my Gengar is pretty much going to go down, so I'm going to stay in. This thing probably has Protect, but I always carry T-Bolt. So just in case he thought he could go for a Wish and get away with taking the Shadow Ball too well, try and get the drop on him with some dropping bolts of lightning. So that didn't work out. But anyways, I'm going to go into the Hole in Your Team. This might seem silly, but I'm guessing I'm Choice Bandit? I don't know. I don't know why I switched that in. I go for Superpower. It does a decent amount. Now, this is important to note. I'm not doing anything to this Skarmory. So, basically, I have to, I gotta deal with it somehow, and I don't really have much to respond to it, because Gengar really was the only thing that could hit it well enough to do it, and maybe Keldeo if I hit it on the special side. But that's pretty much all I have. So I'm gonna go for the Stone Edge. I miss. I don't know why I went for Stone Edge. Maybe I was just panicking and thinking I have nothing else to switch into. I could have switched into... Actually, nothing. I should have switched into this thing a turn earlier, though, to take less spikes damage. But regardless, I'm just going to go for the rocks as he switches in his Pink Washer. Rocks are important. It's going to basically hurt his team. I'm just going to leave this thing in to die. Lava Plume, don't get the burn, unfortunately. He's going to go for the Hydro Pump and take me out with a crit. Crit definitely did not matter, but you will see later that a certain crit does matter. But what I'm going to do is switch into Ion. Not going to take any damage because I'm levitating. Thought Dragon Pulse would kill, doesn't. And he goes for the Will-O-Wisp. Not as big as you think it would be. It's just annoying because between the Sandstorm and the Burn, it's just going to weaken this thing. And as bulky as it is, so it's kind of sad to see a bulky thing like this that can be offensive take a lot of damage. I think I'm max HP, max defense though. For some reason I feel like I remember this. He goes in a purple Dargon, drops a giant Draco Meteor on my face. I'm like, okay, can't have anything taken. That's one of those situations where you just have to find a Pokemon to kill off, and that was Latias. So I'm in a little bit of a kerfuffle here. Now, I know he's going to switch, so instead of going for Ice Shard, I go for Icicle Crash, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is the turning point. I get a critical hit. This is huge. You saw how much damage it did with the superpower. You see that with 77%, this thing would have only done like 38% to his Skarmory on average. So getting a crit basically means that Mamoswine and Garchomp have a chance at actually doing damage to his team now. He can't really take it, and Keldeo can now spam Secret Sword without worrying about this thing coming in and taking it. So that actually mattered quite a bit. Now he's going to send in his Infernape. I believe he just goes for a close combat. I'm guessing this thing is Scarf because he just sends it and begins to spam it, and I believe he thinks that it's going to be GG because he outspeeds all of my things and just basically takes me out. But ladies and gentlemen, Keldeo Resolution carries a little trick, and that is the Aqua Jet. This is my work-up Keldeo Resolution. Work-up? What? Don't you remember me talking about physical Keldeo? And everyone's like, oh, that's so stupid. I ran work-up, Hydro Pump, Secret Sword, and Aqua Jet. And Aqua Jet gets the drop on everybody. Outspeed this thing as he misses. No, he does. That's the Scarf thing. Ah, would have been Speed Type. Interesting. But regardless, his Draco Meteor misses. I get the hack. Secret Sword that buddy. He goes for Protect. I die to the Sandstorm. I dry to the Sandstorm, ladies and gentlemen. I'm getting too excited. I gotta go to school, and I'm too excited. What does this mean? It's gonna be a crappy day. Because I'm now gonna be excited at school as opposed to being at home. It doesn't kill! God! That sucks. But Sandstorm does kill him. So, that was a, relatively, hacksy match against Diego, but, hey, you know what? Hacks matters. I am allowed to celebrate hacks when it is in my favor, and I'm allowed to complain about hacks when it is against me. That is just human nature. Deal with it. But anyways, those were excellent matches. Danny, Yuting, and Dr. Diego. Comment, rate, and subscribe, everyone. I hope you enjoyed these battles. I have been not playing, I'm going to be honest. I haven't been taking a lot of battles. I've just been kind of busy between school and just, playing other games and relaxing. I have been keeping track of 6th Gen, though. I don't think I'm going to talk about it. I've been contemplating this non-stop. Should I do a vlog on 6th Gen or not, or just my opinions? I don't really think you need to hear it because, one, everyone's opinions are differing. We don't even know all the information yet. We know a lot about a lot of things that will be affecting the metagame, and I will tell you that I'm liking everything except some of the mechanics changes, like electrics can't be paralyzed, and grass can't be affected by spore-like moves. And as much as people will say it makes sense, I'm just thinking in terms of, practicality and in terms of metagame. It's just like, it doesn't even make any sense. Like, especially this. I understand how the spore thing works when you can't, like grass can't do anything to grass, really. But, there are plants that, have poisons that kill the grass. Just saying. But anyways, I'm not going to get into too much detail. People are talking about it. People are hyping it up. It is less than 31 days, though. We're getting pretty close, and I do have something special planned for the end of 5th Gen, so stay tuned for that. I will be working on that in about a week or so. Or I'm going to work on it in about a week. I was also going to do a vlog about the last changes. I hope to be the last changes in the 5th Gen metagame with the Landorus and possibly Victini, possibly Keldeo, the Mandibuzz, and Hale actually being kicked out of RU. But I was like, you know what? It's a little late to do that, so... Oops. It's a little late to do that, so, I'm not really going to worry about it. You guys have heard enough opinions. You guys have seen enough of 5th Gen. I'm pretty sure you're just waiting for 6th Gen, and I'm hoping Showdown will implement that as soon as possible, because as tough as it sounds, I might have to stick to just either 5th Gen or just stick to TCGO, and maybe I could fill in with an LP just to cover that, because I don't know, I don't remember how long it took to get Showdown working perfectly, but 6th Gen is going to add a whole bunch of stuff they're going to have to worry about, type changes and everything like that. But regardless, I've held you for long enough here. Thank you so much for watching, stay tuned for another upload, and I will see you then. Until then, peace.